everybody. Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle. Lord Tremendous of the Warriors of Chaos, that's me, versus WoC, Savage Wand of the Orcs and Goblins. And no, he didn't name his WoC that. I did, because I like to name WoCs. And if you're getting tired of me saying WoC, too bad, because it's going to happen a lot, because I like to say WoC. Here's my list. Right here, it's the same list I've been using because I enjoy it, and you'll just have to learn to deal with that. My generals, my Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch. He's level 3 wizard. He's got the Chaos Armor, Charm, Shield, Dragon Bane Gem, other Trickster Shard, Soul Feeder, Scaled Skins, Poisonous Slime, Flaming Breath, and Laura Metal. My hero choices are my exalted hero, Lady Elizabeth, who's kicking ass and taking names. She's got the Mark of Tzeentch. She's my BSB. She's on a Chaos Steed, Halberd, Helm of Many Eyes, and Dawnstone. And my other exalted hero, Cull, the Collector of Souls, has the Mark of Tzeentch. He's on a demonic mount, Salvis. He's got an enchanted shield, Talisman of Preservation, Third Eye Tzeentch. And no, it'll be the Saval model still, so I'll get those two names confused. I'll have one more battle report where Saval's in it, and then I will go straight to the Cull model, which was made by Unleashed Wargaming. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. And their ad is at the end of the report. And then I have my Chaos Sorcerer, the Flame Warper, who's my Mark of Tzeentch level 2 wizard, with the Dragon Helm, Luckstone, Skullikatam, and Laura Tzeentch. My core choices are 5 Naked Chaos Warhounds, 18 Chaos Warriors, Blood Tide, with the Mark of Khorne, Full Command, Halberds, and Banner of Fury. And I have a unit of 17 Chaos Warriors, the Children of Tzeentch, with the Mark of Tzeentch, Full Command, Hand Weapon Shields, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. My special choice are 5 Chaos Knights, and they were the Teeth of Tzeentch, but I do believe I'm going to start calling them I'm going to call them Elizabeth's Honor Guard, simply because it's pretty much what they are. They're not really there for anything else. They're a wound bunker so that she gets into combat and kicks ass. So you've seen it here right now as I'm reading this. I am changing their name to Elizabeth's Honor Guard, and now the banner that she's carrying makes more sense. They have the Mark of Tzeentch, Full Command, and Sorcered Weapons, and the Standard of Discipline. And then, of course, I have my War Shrine, the Bringer of Change, who has the Mark of Tzeentch. And, of course, my rare choice, the one, the only, the keystone to my army, the Mutalith Vortex. Gotta love the beast. My opponent's list is as follows, and it is completely from memory. I did not even see a list, so potato. I know he had a Goblin Great Shaman who was a level 4 wizard. He was on top of the Arachnarok Spider. The Spider had the Catchweb Spider Shrine. The Goblin had the Skull Wand of Kellogg's, and the Glittering Scales. And the little bastard used the Laura Little Wog. Wog! He had a Savage Orc War Boss as his general, and I don't have a clue what he had, and you'll see why in a minute. And then my hero choices, or his hero choices, were his Savage Orc War Boss, or Savage Orc Big Boss, who was his BSB, and I have no idea what he had on him, because, well, you'll see later. And then he had a Savage Orc Shaman, who was his level 2 wizard. He had the Lucky Shrunken Head, and used the Laura the Big Wog! And then he had a Night Goblin Shaman, who was a level 2 wizard with a feedback scroll and the Lord of Little Wog! His core choices were 20 Night Goblins with Full Command, Short Bows, and 3 Fanatics, and he had 4 units of those. So yeah, only 12 Fanatics, which is actually kind of tame for an Orcs and Goblins list. And then he had a huge unit of 46 Savage Orc Biggins with Full Command and extra hand weapons. So he had a Blender unit with a 5-up ward save. That's what he had. His special choices were a unit of 6 Trolls and 10 Boar Boys with Full Command and Spears. These are my spells, 3 from Metal and 2 from Tzeentch, plus 1 from the Beast. And these are his spells, and they're from the Big and Little Wog, and they're all over the place, and I'm not even going to bother to go over them. Here's deployment. As you can see, I lined up my guys, the guys with my Tzeentch Warriors with the Banner of Eternal Flame lined up against the Trolls, because that just made sense to me. The Beast was going to go into the forest and try to get him to release Fanatics either towards the forest, which would have been great, because once they touch a tree, they explode, and I understand that. And I figured if I could get his Boar Boys into the forest, that would be fun too. My knights and Lady Elizabeth were squaring off against the Savage Orcs because at -2 they have a 3-up armor, and then after the Choppa special rule goes away, they have a 1-up or yeah, basically a 2-up armor against everything they have to throw at us. So I felt froggy there. Saval slash Cull is right across there because there was really nothing for him to go after. I was going to send him slightly over to the left with the dogs to try to release some of his fanatics, but that was really it. Corn Warriors are holding my left flank with my Demon Prince, who was going to shoot around that big rock and just go into the back and do what he could. Here's top of 1 after movement, and as you can see, I got to go first. Yay! And the dogs move up a lot, Saval moves up a lot, the Mutilate moves up into the forest, and everything else moves up as much as it can. Damn fanatics, I want combat. During the magic phase, the beast gets -1 toughness and +1 initiative on the goblins, which my opponent cleverly says they lost a bunch of weight thanks to the beast, and one guy died. So yes, now they are less tough but a lot faster. So I'm fine with that. I like less toughness. And then during the magic phase, I get off irresistibly final transmutation on his huge unit of Savage Orcs. I kill 12 of his Savage Orcs, and I kill his general. Turn him to gold, which is out friggin' standing. Yeah, he was not happy. But that's why I don't have a clue what his general had on him, because he never got into combat. He just died. Well, or became a huge statue. Either way, kind of cool. The resulting miscast 11 makes my Demon Prince a level 1 wizard. I lose 2 wizard levels, and then he did, once the scroll went off irresistible, he decides to use the feedback scroll. And I'm not entirely sure if you can use it when it's irresistible. It says, just the rule, according to Big Red Book, says instead of attempting to dispel the spell, it goes off and you use the feedback scroll and you roll as many dice as your opponent did to cast it, and on a 5-up he takes a wound with no armor save. So it's like, oh crap. So needless to say, he ended up rolling like 3 5s and 6s out of 6, because I 6 dice the spell, not knowing he had the feedback scroll. And to be honest, I would have done it even if I had known. And yeah, 2 wounds slipped through. I was only able to ward save 1. I was not expecting that in the slightest. So we go to bottom of 1, and as you can see, there's some movement. And yeah, he moves up a lot, and his right flank releases just enough fanatics so that my Demon Prince gets killed. Very, very, very well played by my opponent. I got to admit, as disappointed as I was, my Demon Prince died yet again before turn 2. Gotta hand it to my opponent for knocking me out of the park like that. He took out my Demon Prince like he was an old pro at it. This guy hasn't played a fantasy game in months, so very impressed. Saw the opportunity and he attacked, and my Demon Prince paid the penalty for overconfidence. During his shooting phase over here, I know, we're gonna forget the Demon Prince died, don't worry. During his shooting phase, though, he kills 3 of my dogs. The remaining 2 flee right through Cull slash Saval, and he makes his panic check, thank God. But yeah, I'll let you know right now, the dogs never rally. It takes them 3 or 4 turns to get off the table, but they never rally. Nothing else happens, so we go to bottom of 2 after movement, and as you can see, Saval charges the goblins, releasing 3 fanatics, which was fine. He takes 1 wound, which was shocking. Other than that, during his magic phase, I did forget to take a picture of this. His Savage Orcs, he was able to get the hand of Gork off, and basically threw his Savage Orcs right in front of my Knights. So everything that could charged the Savage Orcs, because why not, right? Yeah, the Tzeentch Warriors ended up in his flank. My Knights and my War Shrine went into the front. And the Beast couldn't see him, and the Corn Warriors didn't have the angle. So it was what it was, and I'll take it. Saval decided not to go after them and to charge into the Goblins just because I didn't want the Fanatics bouncing through that unit too much. And that was that. Other than that, the Beast stayed pretty much right where he was because he had plenty of options with his spell. And since the Demon Prince is dead, he didn't move. Oh, and that's right. My Corn Warriors did attempt to charge the goblins in front of them and failed by a lot. So that's a little disappointing. However, Saval did not fail. He slams into this unit, and I was thrilled with that because his Goblin Shaman was in there, the little one, the little level 2 one, and I wanted him dead. And this combat, look at this insanity right here. Just, oh, I do love a good close combat, but this is going to be brutal. Yeah. And then that's right. The beast did fail his charge also into the goblins. He didn't just move up. He didn't move up. He failed to charge into the goblins, which was disappointing. I think he missed it by an inch. But oh well, what can you do? During my magic phase, since I really didn't have much of a choice, I got Infernal Gateway off on one of his fanatics, the ones that was the biggest threat, and killed it. So that was kind of cool. Kind of a big nuke spell for one model, but I'll take it. During combat, Saval it has to issue a challenge. His unit champion accepts, and if I remember correctly, Saval gets +1 initiative for just epically destroying a goblin unit champion. Which, hey, that'll work. I'll take it. Yep, there we go. +1 initiative for Saval. It's a little blurry picture, but you can trust me. I'm trustworthy. Kinda, sorta, not. During combat over here against the Savage Orcs, holy sweet lord, is it brutal. I kill maybe 5 or 6 of his guys because he's making his ward saves like it's going out of style. Needless to say, I didn't make too many armor saves with my knight. Let me take that back. I actually made a ton of armor saves for my knights, but 3 still died because it was a lot of wounds. My warriors ended up taking a couple, and my war shrine actually picks one up for his trouble. I think, honestly, I win this combat. I'm almost positive because I'm negating his ranks. I charge. I have a flank. I've got 2 banners, and I do 5 or 6 wounds to his 5 wounds and a couple of banners. So I do win this combat. Needless to say, though, they do not break. I can't remember if maybe somebody has a Crown of Command or what the deal was. Maybe he just rolled really low. I don't win by much, but I do knock the frenzy out of him, so that's good. And they ended up sticking it out. So we go to bottom of 2 after movement, and yeah, the things move up a little bit. The trolls end up slamming into my Tzeentch warriors, which I wasn't too concerned about, but I wasn't thrilled about either. You know, it's like, oh yeah, the trolls, that's not good. And his boar boys end up slamming into my Mutalith. But something kind of cool happens when that happens. Yep, there's a better picture of his trolls slamming into my warriors. And the unit of goblins moved up, bounced his fanatics through his trolls, through my unit of warriors, and ends up killing 2 of my guys, and he makes all of his regen saves for his trolls. So awesome. So it was actually quite intelligent. Well, I think just 1 actually ends up bouncing through, so it's not too bad, I guess, but still. Clever. Very, very clever. I'm sorry, there's a better picture of how this combat is starting to spiral out of control. And over here, the beast does get charged by the boar boys, but the unit champion and 2 of the boar boys die due to dangerous terrain checks on the in the forest. But they make their panic check, which is a shame because that would have been funny as hell. During his magic phase, the goblins that are in combat with Saval are a little nervous, so they get a couple of their spells off just to make them a little bit tougher. And then we go into combat, and the beast takes a wound and gives 1 out in return. I roll kind of crappy here, but I'm happy that he takes a wound. But with charge, wound, banner to wound, he wins by 2. I am able to make my break check. And then over here, I issue a challenge. The wizard says, hell no, and goes to the back. And Saval kills 1 or 2 goblins. He doesn't do very much. But I'll take what I can get. Because I'm rolling I roll for 3 turns in a row. I roll a 1 for his, to wound for his stomp, his demonic mound stomp. So that's kind of embarrassing. But it is what it is. Over here in combat, holy God, is it brutal. I end up losing 6 warriors, the rest of my knights, and I do a decent amount of damage to the Savage Orc, so I end up killing about 8 of them, and I do 2 wounds to the trolls. So I have 11 wounds to his 6, 7, 8, plus his charge and a flank to my flank 2 banners. He's got 2 banners. It's rough. I end up winning this combat, but you know, just barely. And believe it or not, the trolls are steadfast and they make their 4-up leadership check to stay. It's like, oh no, that's so bad. But yep. So this combat continues on and it's brutal. So we go to top of 3 after movement, and my Corn Warriors say screw it and charge and slam into the warriors, taking out 1 of the fanatics, and they end up losing 5 warriors for their trouble, which really sucks. And yeah, other than that, there's not a whole lot of movement because all my stuff is either dead or in combat. Oh yeah, and there's the stupid dogs are still fleeing. There's a better picture of the Corn Warriors making their charge into the goblins and taking 5 wounds for their trouble, which hurts. Thank God they're frenzied. During the magic phase, my beast gets his spell off on the goblins once again, kills 2 of them, and they can now cause fear for the rest of it. The beast is just taking some pity on these goblins or something. I don't know what the deal is, but he refuses to kill them, and he keeps on kind of helping them. So, damn it, beast. No, I'm still happy with the beast. During the magic phase, since I got no other options, he dispels everything else, so I get Gateway off on one of his fanatics and kill another one. However, it's Irresistible Force. I think I only threw 4 dice at it, but I Irresistible Force it, and I end up miscasting 6. Which ends up putting a wound on my caster. I luckily don't take out any more of my warriors, but I do take out one of the Savage Orcs, so that's something at least. During the combat phase, yeah, the Corn Warriors obliterate the goblins. I do believe we end up... no, I think they make their break check, actually. I don't believe they break just yet. Nope, they don't break yet. Yep. So they lose his combat, but they stay. And then in combat over here with the Beast, he dies. There's just no other way to put it. He ends up killing 1 more Boar Boy for his trouble, but they put like 2 more wounds through on him. And with 2 wounds and a banner to 1 wound, I lose by 2 again. I do not make my break check, and the beast gets run down, and that's sad. Hate it when the beast dies. But anyway, the Boar Boys, as you can see, they overran 12 inches. They run right through the forest. No, none of the other ones died to dangerous terrain checks. They all take one, though. And that's where they end up, right there, on the corpse of the beast, which hurts. Hurts my heart parts. During combat over here, Lady Elizabeth finally kills the unit champion. She's finally able to put wounds through on him that he does not ward save because he's making them over here, like, a lot. And she gets +1 initiative for her trouble. And then the ensuing combat is just more bloody goodness. I lose 4 warriors. I put 3 or 4 wounds on the trolls. I kill another 3 or 4 of the what's it called, Savage Orcs. Plus, I do a bunch of wounds in the challenge, so the overkill is nice. I think I take another wound on the War Shrine, but for the most part, I win this combat, and that's very, very good because the trolls do not make their break check this time. They are not steadfast, so they need snakes, because I win by 1 or 2. They need something, either snakes or a 3. They do not make it. They flee. They break within 6 inches of the goblins that the beast has been toying with back when he was alive. And they run. The trolls run through a fanatic. The one that was hanging on by a wound dies. The goblins fail their panic check for a unit broke within 6, and they start fleeing, so that's awesome. And I'll just cut to the chase right now. Neither of them rally, and they run off the table. And so, yeah, but the Savage Orcs do end up staying, and yeah, that's just going to be a fun fight now. Over here, Saval/Cull continues to kill 1 or 2 goblins in a turn. He wins this combat, or loses this combat, I don't remember, but he's exhausted, so he doesn't feel like fleeing if he loses, and the goblins are tired too, so they don't flee either. And then we go to bottom of 3 after movement, and as you can see, the spider and the goblins on his right flank are trying to get around the rock. We were putting the spider on top of the impassable terrain, because we were under the impression that he could do that. After looking at the rules, it literally says he cannot linger in impassable terrain, or obstacles for that matter. So, no, we ended up not doing that and putting his spider back behind the rock. So, really, he's playing minus his Arachnarok spider and his unit of goblins with fanatics pretty much the entire game, which is a shame, but that critical mistake does help me out a little bit. Meanwhile, everything else, like I said, neither his goblins nor his trolls rally. And they never will. They'll run off the table. And his Boar Boys are animosity stupid. So yeah, they're squabbling. Squabble! Which is actually very good for me. So I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it at all. I kind of like the fact that they can bite themselves in the ass. They're kind of like Skaven in that way. So I'll take it. There's a better picture of them squawking, by the way. And during his magic phase, he gets Curse of the Bad Moon off pretty spectacularly. He throws 5 dice at him. I'm like, well, you got it. What can I do? It's just a small one, and he rolls exactly far enough that it is not touching the warriors. He tries every angle he can get, and that's as close as he could get. Just couldn't get it to touch the warriors, which was outstanding. So, yep, it stops right there. And, yeah, needless to say, it's going to stop the warriors from charging the spider, because you cannot enter into a vortex willingly. So, that's good. Over here, we go straight over to combat afterwards, and Saval just keeps on whacking away at the goblins, because the wizard keeps rejecting the challenge, and they're steadfast and stick around. And then we go into combat over here, and it's still pretty brutal. I think I lose a few more warriors here, and Lady Elizabeth wins her challenge, and I think it's +1 weapon skill or strength. Not exactly sure which one. During killing the BSB, I believe it was. The War Shrine and the warriors do their part, and now there's only a handful of Savage Orcs left, which is good. However, they are steadfast and don't go anywhere. And then I do a combat reform since I won this combat and move everybody closer so we can get into more combat. Yay! So we go to top of 4 after movement, and you're looking at it. The Warriors of Khorne back up a little bit because they don't want that stupid vortex hitting them unless, it's just going to. And that's it. Everything else of mine is dead or in combat. During the magic phase, the War Shrine is able to give +1 strength and +1 initiative, or +1 strength to Lady Elizabeth and +1 initiative to my caster. So that's good. I love the War Shrine. I don't know why I wasn't using it more often. And then in combat, epic combat. Lady Elizabeth kills the Orc Shaman, the Savage Orc Shaman, rolls on the Eye of the Gods chart, rolls boxcars, and passes her leadership on. Obviously I can't re-roll it, but she passes her leadership and becomes a demon prince. Is there nothing Lady Elizabeth cannot do? That being all said, of course, we finish up this combat, and I ended up, once Lady Elizabeth ascended, she bounces out of the combat. She's no longer in the combat. And I know he gets the points for my BSB now, but he doesn't get points for the actual banner, because Lady Elizabeth still counts as the BSB. So he gets the points for the character, but not the extra 100 until she's dead. And she's not going anywhere. She's just too cool. The War Shrine ends up killing enough. Well, the War Shrine and the Warriors end up killing enough of the remaining Savage Orcs that they are out of combat. So, the Warriors aren't, but the War Shrine is, so he can't pursue anymore. There's the Banner and 1 Savage Orc left. They fail their break check and flee. The Banner dies, and the Warriors, since they're the only ones who can pursue, try, but that's as far as they get. He rolls higher than me, plain and simple, and 1 Savage Orc, missing a hand, flees and gets away. So, yeah, that's a lot of points in that one model, just trying to get away as fast as he can. And needless to say, I have no intentions of allowing that to happen. Over here in combat, Saval finally gets them down to the point where they're not steadfast anymore. They break, and he runs after them. They do not get caught, but, he's trying at least, and I respect that. And then we go to bottom 4 after movement, and as you can see, the spider gets a hold of Saval because the goblins he was chasing do not rally, and they flee off the table. Other than that, the Savage Orc that is still alive does not rally either, and he flees a little bit more, making it more likely he's going to get away, and his little unit of goblins kind of stay right where they're at. So, yeah. During his magic phase, that little template, the magical vortex he's got, actually goes the exact right way and bounces through my warriors, killing 2 of them. And he gets Gork'll Fix-It off on Saval because, he's pretty much screwed anyway with the spider on him. So we go into combat, and my opponent says, all right, I need you to take a leadership check real quick. And, I've known this guy for a while. I trust him, so I roll 2 dice. And I roll an 11. So I'm like, okay, I failed my leadership. What happens? And he looks at me, and he goes, oh, your character's dead. And I'm like, what do you mean my character's dead? And he goes, yeah, it's the Wand of Kaldor or whatever. It's a 75-point magic item. I nominate a unit in combat, or a model in combat, and you take a leadership check, and if you fail it, you die, with no saves of any kind allowed. And I'm like, let me see that. Well, judging by this picture, we found out that he was absolutely right. So Saval's like, hey, cool wand, what's it do? Ah! Dies a horrible, horrible death to a wand that says stuff. So, yeah, without any spider attacks or anything like that, Saval just looks at the wand and rips his own throat out. That's a cool item. So, the spider combat reforms, because he's out of combat now, he won this one, to face the warriors, and we go to top of 5, and crap. I decide not to charge my Chaos Warriors in, because I need, I want to try to Infernal Gateway it to cause some damage, possibly just flat out kill it. Meanwhile, the War Shrine and my 2 remaining Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch and my caster move up to try to deal with his fleeing Savagor, because I need those points to win this game. And Lady Elizabeth, in her new Demon Prince form, walks over to the Boar Boys and dares them to charge her. That's how confident she is. During my magic phase, I do get Gateway off on the spider, and it does not help me at all. I end up killing a lot of the Howdah Riders, and I do like 1 wound to the spider itself, so poop. And it passed its toughness check and gets a 6-up regen. So my plan was a little faulty. I wish I had thought it through. So we go to bottom of 5 after movement, and the Boar Boys take the Demon Prince lady up on her challenge and charge her, and the spider doesn't even hesitate and charges right into the Khorne Warriors. Other than that, the Fanatics bounce around, do nothing. During his magic phase, he gets a couple of spells off on my Khorne Warriors to make the spider more likely to win. And then we go over here into combat, and Lady Elizabeth mutilates 4 of the Boar Boys, leaving only the banner guy left because Unit Champion died in the forest. And they break. She doesn't even bother to pursue. She makes her, restraint roll no problem, turns around to face the rest of the table. Over here in combat, since Gorkle Fix-It is off, as well as some other spell, I think Itchy Nuisance or whatever, I whiff spectacularly. I think I put 1 wound on his Goblin Shaman, because I'm just like, I want to get rid of his magic phase completely. But yeah, the only reason I stick around is because I'm steadfast, and I got lucky as hell that he whiffed as badly as he did. So we go to top of 6 after movement, and the War Shrine, of all things, charges the Savage Orc and that's fleeing and catches him. He rolls like a 4, and my War Shrine rolls like 10 or something insane. Catches the Savage Orc and kills him, which is outstanding. Other than that, the Warriors or the 2 remaining Tzeentch Warriors and my caster move up because they want to Infernal Gateway the Goblins before they, Fanatic of Doom my War Shrine to death. And Lady Elizabeth runs up because she's got nowhere else to be, and I wanted her in a picture. During my magic phase, I get my wish, and I get Infernal Gateway off, and the strength of the attack is 11. So I roll 3d6, I roll a 6, a 4, and a 1. So I have 11 strength, 10 wounds on the goblins. I don't roll any ones. 11 of them die. 11 of them die. There's 3 left. They fail their panic check from, 25% wounds or more, and they flee, and they never rally. So, awesome. I don't know if I get points for this unit or not. I think they run off the table. No, they don't run off the table because no, I went first. So, yeah, yep. So he never rallies them because he needs snakes because they're below 25%, and they run off the table. The resulting miscast 7 spares my caster, but it does hit my unit champion, and he doesn't get a lookout, sir, because there's only 1 other rank and file model in the whole unit. So he did get a 5-up board save earlier in the game from the War Shrine, which was awesome, because it just saved his life. Right there, I roll a 5, and the unit champion sticks it out, which is good, because I didn't feel like taking a panic check. Speaking of panic checks, though, my Khorne Warriors, I do kill his Goblin Shaman. I do nothing to the spider because all I roll to wound, I need a 5 or a 6 to wound a toughness 6 spider, and every 6 I roll, I have to re-roll it because of the Gorkle Fix-It magic spell that's off on him. And I roll like 3 or 4 6s. I have to re-roll all of them, and they don't come up 5s or 6s. So the spider takes no damage. I lose, I don't know, 6 or 7 warriors. It's a lot. Needless to say, I don't make my break check, and I get run down. So the overrun does put the Ragnarok Spider into the flank of my War Shrine. So we go to bottom of 6, and there it is. The Ragnarok Spider is into my War Shrine, and my Tzeentch Warriors and my caster watch as the War Shrine gets ripped apart by the spider. And there it is. I'm not even going to, leave you in suspense. The Ragnarok Spider has 0 problems destroying my War Shrine. He doesn't even have to kill it, lose it in combat. Its Venomous Surge gets through my ward save and my armor save. Well, it goes right through my armor save, but it gets through my ward save. I roll a 2. And he does like 4 or 5 wounds. The War Shrine already had 2, so he kills it. And the funny part is, as you can see, the Ragnarok Spider is so brutal that when I went to pick up my shrine, it got stuck on his little arm there, and he held on to it. He literally held on to the War Shrine. He's like, nope, this is mine. And that's just creepy. I'm arachnophobic to the nth degree as it is, and seeing the big creepy spider hold on to my model, nope. I was just like, that's fine, I'll buy another War Shrine. I'm sorry, sir. So there it is, guys. There's the end of the game right there. I know the War Shrine's picked back up. I just picked it back up and then took the picture without moving the War Shrine off. The War Shrine is gone. It is dead. All I have left on the table is 2 Tzeentch Warriors, my caster on foot, and my BSB that counts as dead, so that sucks. And he's got his Ragnarok Spider left. So what a bloody, bloody fight. So much fun. There was a lot of people standing around the table watching too. We had a lot of fun with this, but we'll get to the recap in a minute, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Token time, everybody. Tokens. Check them out. All the tokens you could need for anything that you could possibly play. Warhammer 40k, Infinity, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Infinity, Malifaux, whatever you need tokens for, Token Gal can make the tokens. They're dirt cheap, guys. No more than $8 for a set, but they're solid gold quality. I mean, these are glass beads. They magnify the picture and the words. You've got wound counters. You've got status effects. You've got spell effects. +1 toughness, -1 strength. Whatever you need. She's got all the magic lores. She's got everything you need for any system that you play. She's got a email address you can send and be like, hey, I'm looking for this. And now she has a website. It's there at the bottom. I'm not going to bother reading it off, because if you can't read, what the hell are you doing on the internet? Just seriously, though, check her out. Check out her website. Order yourself some tokens. It's totally worth it. You won't regret it. Hey guys, I know I've already talked to you about this before, but you should really check these pictures out, because they were all painted, including my model, by Unleashed Wargaming. And they have their email right up there at the top of the page, and they've also got it down there. They got a YouTube channel. He's working on a website. It's not quite ready yet, but yeah, really, if you get a chance, check these guys out. If you're looking for someone to paint your stuff real good, seriously, check these guys out. Go to his, send him an email, check out his YouTube page. It's really worth your time. It's a phenomenal job. It's quick, it's painless. You don't have to worry about painting your stuff. And soon I'll be running a model that these guys painted for me, and I'm very excited about that. But check out these pictures. Give this guy an email. Check him out on YouTube. Get your models painted by him if you can. It's totally worth it. And tell him Tremendous sent you. But in the end, you guessed it, it was a squeaker victory for Lord Tremendous. We totaled up the points, and it was 2,392 to 2,129. There was a 263-point difference in my favor. barely a victory. Barely. Oh man, what a friggin' nail biter. If I had lost my warriors, that would have been it. If his spider and his other unit of goblins had actually been into this fight early or at all for the most part, oh man, that spider was devastating with that little goblin bastard on top. I ended up losing everything except for my Warriors of Tzeentch. I had two left, and the Flame Warper. Everything else was dead. I know I had my Lady Elizabeth still on the table. She counts as dead for point purposes. The Orcs and Goblins lost everything except for the terrifyingly huge Spider of Doom, the Arachnarok Spider. And I did not get any points for his character because his mount was still alive. But what an epic game. My opponent threw me more surprises than I knew what to do with. The feedback scroll was amazing. It took 2 wounds off my Demon Prince before I knew what the hell was going on. It was terrifying. The Fanatics finishing off my half-dead Demon Prince, unreal. Totally didn't expect that to happen. I knew the Fanatics were going to come out, but I expected my Demon Prince to have 4 wounds. I didn't expect him to have 2 wounds on him already because of some feedback scroll I've never seen anybody take before. Oh, such a smart move on his part. Every single combat was epic. The Boar Boys into the Beast was terrifying. I was like, okay, maybe I got this. He wouldn't be steadfast. I didn't expect to lose twice in a row and then get run down, but maybe I should have. Great combats, oh man, that savage orc combat with everything inside of that. If I had just rolled a little bit worse or he had rolled a little bit better, that would have went the other direction, no problem. That was all dice right there, and I'm very happy they went on my side. Most of my army into the Savage Orcs, though, just seeing that and being able to charge into a unit that could take it was very cool. And then, of all things, Lady Elizabeth ascending into demonhood when I most needed it. Oh my god. That was outstanding. Oh, I love that. I love that. She's I don't know why I ever took her out of my list. It was my wife's fault. That's what I'm gonna say. She's looking at me right now. If I don't do any more battle reports, it's because she gutted me in my sleep. Avenge me! Oh man, but if this game was any more epic, it would have required Cass, Death, and Queen Amidala in the damn battle report at some point because, oh man, I don't know how else you can make it any more epic than that. After this game, I needed a beer, a cuddle, and an aspirin, and I didn't have any beer or cuddles, so I got an aspirin. It didn't help. I was so tired. But I was very impressed with my opponent. He hasn't played in months, and to play this well with, let's face it, a bottom-tiered army, he did amazing. Shoot, if it wasn't for my crazy luck kicking it, he would have beat me. Let's face it. If his spider and his goblins had been deployed a little bit better, there's every chance he would have beat me. So yeah, it was a very, very good game. I absolutely want a rematch against this guy. And he has shown some interest in doing narrative battle reports with me. So if we can get him into this, then it won't just be me and Death doing the, what's it called, the narrative battle reports anymore. It'll be me and, well, he'll have to name his WoG and his characters, I guess. But we'll figure it out. If he's in, cool. If not, still should be a lot of fun. But I hope he's in, and it would be a blast. And either way, I'm really looking forward to rematching. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I understand if you're tired and you need a nap after that one. I certainly do. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm recording this at 10 o'clock at night. But as always, I hope you guys are still enjoying them as much as I am. God knows I am. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.